What's happening, good people? Welcome to the channel. I'm Wes, aka Mr. Budget Watch, and today we're going to be comparing two watches I didn't think I would. But anyway, we have a fashion watch and one from China. Again, didn't really expect. Now this is probably made in China, but this is an actual Chinese brand. So which is better value? If there is, I mean, you guys might already have an inkling, but you know, let's take a look. So design, I've actually scored these very similar, in fact identically, and there is a reason for that. Well, one, as far as I'm aware, they're not exactly homages. Both of them are sort of gent style, which is, you know, quite a popular design choice for cases at the minute. But yeah, I don't really think they're one-to-one. And the reason why I've scored them the same is because, well, I think they're both quite attractive watches. We've got a really nice horizontal fume style dial on this one. And then we've got this really cool sort of honeycomb effect on this one. And it's actually got some depth to it, just like this one. And yeah, they're both really nice. This one's got a black date window. This has got white. You know how I feel about those, but yeah, I think both of them are really nice looking. We've got a gunmetal finish here, steel finish here, all brushed. This is brushed, and you can see we do have some sort of not high polish, but this sort of polished gunmetal. Never seen that on a watch before, but it actually works really well because it's not too blingy. You know, you see like on a polished surface like this, which I don't mind on this one, by the way. But yeah, it's really nice, and I think it works well. So I've given them identical scores. You might disagree, but I think they're both nice looking watches. Build and finish, I've had to double weight this because obviously one watch has lume, one watch doesn't, so it's not really fair. So this category is double weighted. And I'm actually going to give the slight edge to the Cadison. So we'll talk this one first. So this has a mixed finish. You know, we've got the brushed here, and then we've got the sort of not high polish but polished gunmetal finish on the bracelet. And again, didn't think I'd like it, but I do. Brush sides, and then we've got a little accent around the bezel. You know, it's a really nicely finished watch. Was not expecting it, but it's not quite up to the standard of the Cadison. This is just about all brushed, apart from got this really tasteful polish accent around the bezel, and I think it's so well done. Fully brushed bracelet. The only reason why I've not scored this higher is because the brushing isn't perfectly linear. I am being really nitpicky here, but the brushing on the side, fantastic. And then we've even got brushed thing there. The only reason, again, another reason why it's not scored so well, just a few little, you know, rough edges here and there. It's not sharp or like thingy, but yeah, it's just a little bit rough. So I would have scored this one a little bit better. Just it has a few little issues. So moving on to said bracelet, and again I've just give the slight edge to the Cadison, and the reason is, well, just those polished, and the finishing, although it's not perfect, is better than this one. Really nice brushed and polished, but the actual quality of them is it's not that different really. So this one is an integrated style, just like this one. But yeah, got a nice taper to it, good articulation, and you know what, it feels alright. But then we have a press clasp, no half links, no micro adjust. So yeah, that's why it sort of falls short a little bit. This one, again the same, integrated style, nice taper, fully brushed, and we have a butterfly clasp, no half links though. So it's really you know, swings and roundabouts for the bracelet. This one's got good articulation as well. But yeah, both of them are, you know, they're pretty solid bracelets, but I've just give this slight edge to this one. As for comfort, I've given them pretty much a dead heat here. You know, both of them score the same. Neither of them are what I'd call the most comfortable watches I've ever wore, but they're not the most uncomfortable either. They sort of sit somewhere in the middle. And I think a lot of it is the bracelets. I mean, the watches themselves are not too dissimilar in you know, profile. You can see this one's got a little bit more of a downturn than this one, but this one has slightly longer protruding end links. So they both wear nice, but none of them are, like I said, the most comfortable, or the least comfortable. So, you know, I've scored them the same. They're nice to wear, but not the nicest. This one's a little bit heavier as well, obviously being an automatic. This one's quartz, so it is a little bit lighter. So that could sway it for you. For me, I don't find either too light or too heavy. So moving on to said movement. This has got a Miyota movement in it, an automatic. This has a Japanese quartz. Now you might be thinking, well, this one's a little bit hard to compare, and it is actually, because, you know, both are different. This is great for grab and go. This is great because obviously automatics are just cooler, you know. No offense to quartz fans, I like my quartzes. But yeah, I think automatics are cooler, except for Grand Seiko and their quartz. You know, nothing comes close to that in terms of quartzes, but, you know, obviously this is definitely not that. This is just a Japanese, I can't confirm, I think it's a Seiko movement inside it, which you guys know, really good. Both feel really great in use. Crowns, not so much, but, you know, that's for, I'll save that for the reviews, or you'll have seen that in the review, should I say. Yeah, I'm talking in different tenses here, but anyway, yeah, so kind of swings and roundabouts. So I've scored them, you know, quite similar here. You know, automatic quartz, that's a debate for a whole different video. But yeah, my auto movement in this one is actually not bad. It's not as noisy as the 8215. And yeah, it's it's a good movement. Not great, but it's good. This, again, good, reliable. So yeah, swings and roundabouts really. Moving on to water resistance, and the Cadison takes it. This has 100 meters claimed. This only has 50. So, you know, again, both of these aren't really exactly what I'd call, you know, sort of adventure watches. These are definitely more your smart, casual sort of wear. That's something, you know, you'd wear with, you know, jeans and, you know, maybe a nice shirt or something like that. So they both got water resistance, and, you know, you'd be fine if they got splashed. But yeah, they're definitely not for, you know, swimming or anything like that. But, you know, all right for just everyday use, which is, you know, pretty much what these watches are intended for. Availability wise, I've actually gave the edge to the Armani, and the reason is, well, because this is, well, a high street brand. You can probably go into, say, like H. Samuels or something like that, F. Hines, or, you know, your local watch store, and, you know, more than likely they probably have something very similar to this. This is something you'd pick up on Amazon or AliExpress. So both are easy to come by. This one you could just go and pick one up, no wait time really. This one you're going to be waiting depending on where you get it from. AliExpress, your best prices, but you're waiting longer. Amazon, more expensive, but you get it quicker. So, you know, it is what it is. But this one's a little bit easier because you can go and pick one up. Brand, this one was a little bit tricky. I've given the edge to Cadison, and the reason why, well, Cadison are actually a company that make watches, and that's all they do. They make watches, and they make, well, from this one, pretty good watches that are good value. And I think they've got a pretty good reputation that's getting stronger and stronger for making good quality watches. So yeah, that's why I've scored them as is. Armani are better known for making sort of your fashion apparel, your suits and all that stuff. They're not really known as a watchmaker. Now, if it was a fashion show-off, Armani would obviously take the win, but as an actual watch brand, they're not really, are they? They're definitely a fashion watch brand, more than anything. Well, they're not even a fashion watch brand, they're a fashion brand that just so happens to sell watches that are probably made by a company not too dissimilar to the one that makes the Cadison. So yeah, that's why I've give that the score that I have, just because they're not technically a watchmaker, whereas Cadison do make watches. So yeah, there is that. Final category, price, and this one, it just takes the win. Sub £100, over £100, and I think this one you do get more for your money. Now this is a surprising one. It's not as bad as, you know, what I was expecting. You can see in my review, I actually thought this is, you know, if it were cheaper, then that'd be better. But it sort of changed my opinion a little bit on fashion brands, and I'll explain that. That'll be for an entirely different video. But, you know, just to sum it up, not all fashion brands are bad. You might like fire some hate for me at that, but not all of them are. We're not talking sort of Vincero movement and stuff like that. They're, you know, I'm not even saying what I would think of those in this video. But this one, It's not amazing, the watch, don't get me wrong, it's a solid watch, could be cheaper. I think you're paying a lot for the Armani name, whereas this is just a better built watch, you know, and it is better and it's cheaper. So yeah, that's why it takes the win today. I mean, the margin is quite significant, but I think, you know, Cadison, they just make better watches than whoever produces these for Armani. So yeah, what do you guys think? I mean, this one put up a, you know, pretty decent fight. I love the dial on this one though. Can't even get away from that. I absolutely love the dial. And I wish, you know, companies would do something more a little bit adventurous like this. But yeah, I love the dial on this one. Also love it on this one too. But yeah, this one definitely takes the win today. But do you think it was going to be as close as what it were? Let me know. Thanks for watching the video. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any uploads. And of course, follow me on social media at Mr. Budget Watch. Thanks again. I'll see you soon.